Yo, yo. What's up? What's up? How we doing? How we doing? I got my coffee. It's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. You know, they keep telling us that we should try and hunt and catch our own food, but I don't even know where tacos live, so I think I'm just gonna starve. Yeah. So, yo, Araceli, what's happening with you, dude? You're like chilling. Did you say you're about to eat, or what? What was the deal with that? What was the deal with that? Oops. Get rid of that. So somebody sent me this. It's a review of the Boss SY1, which is it's a synthesizer pedal for your guitar. And it looks really cool. I listened to it a little bit, and it looks really cool. It looks really cool. What's up, Adam? So I wanted to listen to a little bit of this on stream just because it's wild. The kind of sounds that he's pulling out of this, it's wild.
Magic, this thing. So what's up, guys? Thomas McLaughlin here.
That's
and
pretty
today
rad.
I wanted to just sit down with the SY1 and discover some sounds with you guys. So it's a very simple setup. I've got here one camera, one SY1, one guitar, and I do have a little switcher on the floor, so I can actually switch between an actual guitar sound and the SY1. But just playing that stuff before, I mean, it is pretty crazy how well this tracks. Like the expression that you get in the notes, for example.
You don't like that sound? So I mean, it's a synth, you know. So if you don't like the synth sound, it's definitely not a natural guitar sound, and I wouldn't try and use it as a natural guitar sound. But for me, what's interesting is if I wanted to get a synth sound, I could do it on a guitar, which I'm way more comfortable with. Like I'm way more comfortable with like getting my fingers there and making and creating the sound that I hear in my head versus on a keyboard, which I can do just not nearly as well. So that's one of the reasons this is so interesting to me. And there's a ton of different sound options he's going to go through. Adam, you told me to guess what? What? Tell me what. I'm going to keep listening until you tell me.
It just all the vibrato, all the little sort of nuances in the notes, it's right there, tracking along with you, and there's no latency. It just feels great.
He's got a ton of delay on it.
So let's just go through some other sounds and see what we can discover.
Kind of what you hear in a synth.
All right, lead sound. We're on variation 3 this time. Let's see what this sounds like.
Sounds like a Sonic the Hedgehog level. Woo!
Let's dial that setting up to around about.
Yeah, that's like that makes me think of like the Casino Nights level on Sonic the Hedgehog. The pad that Joseph played in one of his tracks that he submitted, or on one of his SoundCloud things.
3 o'clock or so. you see, like, let me do that same lick on an actual guitar sound. You know, that kind of thing.
It
like
sounds rad, like with
stuff,
just the normal guitar stuff.
Like,
I don't know.
It just blows my mind
like creatively,
how well this thing tries.
It's so creatively different. Like the melodic contour, melodic ideas you get from different sounds can really, I mean, it just changes how you write songs. So that's one of the reasons I think this kind of pedal is so interesting, because it completely changes the sound palette that you're used to using as a guitar player. So
tracks, and there's no MIDI or anything. It's just an audio jack.
So it looks like he's also using those Fishman Fluence pickups,
super
which
cool.
I really like.
So let's keep dialing.
Ooh.
Like that.
And I like how there's just a little more attack than you would hear with a normal synth, which I'm sure you could dial up, but you know, with a guitar you need that attack sound to know that you played the note, and I feel like a lot of things miss that. But I can hear the attack still, and then you still hear the kind of synth swell.
Picking up harmonics. There's like the actual harmonics, and it's tracking it. Like, okay.
That's pretty cool. With what's wrong with his guitar? So he's playing on a Kessler guitar, which they have no headstock. It has Bluetooth? No. He's plugged in. Like, everything's wired. He's still wired, but he's playing through the synth pedal. That's what he's playing through right now.
That's a classic kind of synchy sort of bass line sound there. That's really cool. Ooh. Oh, I think I've just discovered the sound that's used on the beginning of the video. So if you haven't seen the SY1 launch video, it's up on YouTube. Check it out.
That's rad. That's actually the it sounds like he's combining the guitar sound with the synth sound. So I'm sure there's a way where you can blend the two different sounds. That's really neat. That's a really neat option.
And the sound that I double it up, I think it's this patch here. So that is lead variation 8. Let's see. I think so.
That's rad.
But you can do all this stuff with your foot with an expression pedal. I don't have an expression pedal hooked up at the moment. Anyway, let's move on to a different category. Lead number 2.
It's interesting.
Variation
super
2.
Interesting.
Ooh, I like that already. It's kind of like a square wave sort of sound.
What's also cool about doing like a synth style guitar is that you can do expressive things. You can do expressive things with the guitar that you can't do with a piano, like a bend. You know, you can bend into notes and bend from notes, which you know you can do with the pitch wheel on a keyboard, but I don't think it's as natural. I think this is just so cool. It's such a different approach to this sound, which can make like some real changes to compositions.
chords. Crazy cool. All right.
Yeah, that is just really neat. Now the problem with this is it's in your digital audio workspace. It's giving sound information, not MIDI information. So if you really want MIDI information where you can actually use the piano roll to change what you're doing, you would have to use a keyboard, or you would have to use a MIDI guitar, which MIDI guitars exist. Carvin makes one. I believe Godin makes one. And they're pretty cool. They're also very expensive, and they're also like the difference between a MIDI guitar and a MIDI keyboard is like you have to really make sure that the MIDI guitar is in tune for the MIDI information to be accurate. Yeah, new stream time tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be starting at 12. We'll go 12 to 2 because I'm hoping that I can get more people awake at that time. I know a lot of people right now are struggling to even be up at 10. So I get it. I'm trying to be accommodating.
That sounds pretty mega, doesn't it?
Like so good. Like something about this sound is really is sparking my interest.
This thing just basically keeps like inspiring track ideas, and I think that's going to be a really cool thing for you guys as well. So when you get one, you'll be playing around with all the settings and stuff, and like me, just all these different track ideas and riffs and licks kind of start just like pouring out. It's a really inspiring sort of pedal. Let's jump onto some pads. Yeah, pads. Let's start number 1, pads. Get a bit smoother sounds.
And you'll notice when he's playing these, he's really only playing between 2 and 3 notes per chord. When you have this kind of dense sound, if we were playing like full like you know, like really tight textured harmony, it wouldn't come through as well. This is why the power chord was invented, essentially, because with really heavy distortion, you don't really want to hear tight harmony like that, because it just the wave is so altered that it makes everything sound weird. So that's why he's choosing only two and 3 notes when he's playing these chords. Oh, that's so cool. Did you hear that dissonance right there? So that dissonance was really important because that was a major second. Like you could hear that. That's what dissonance sounds like. One more time. Like, it's just really interesting.
I'm not really much of a keys player, so straight away, like when I can get a couple of easy chords down like that, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm definitely gonna use that. Really cool. All right, let's jump on bass sounds.
I think this is. Oh, this is rad. Like, can you imagine this on 8-string? Like, if I played with stuff like this on 8-string and had that full extra octave down below what he has, that would be so rad. Which, by the way, you could also play a bass through this. There's nothing saying that you couldn't take a bass guitar and play through this. In fact, I could definitely see that being really cool.
So we're gonna go on bass number 6. Let's see how that sounds.
That's very Stranger Things. That's like totally Stranger Things. Now here's one complaint I can already see that I would have with this pedal, is it's so diverse that you could really only use it for recording, because it doesn't have preset functionality. So you would have to like dial in what you want for a specific song. If you were going to use it live, you could only use like one or two functions on it, because you would have to change you'd have to change it between songs. You couldn't even switch within. You would have to, if you wanted to go with something like this, you'd have to use a program like Ableton to really dial in what you're doing and when you're switching. So Ableton Live has a functionality. It's a digital audio workspace, but it also handles live show things, and you can use plugins as effects to change what your direct input sounds like by the beat. So there's a lot of really cool videos of people, they're just playing their same instrument, but their instrument changes sound while they're playing without really having to do anything, because it's programmed into Ableton to do it for them. And the complexity and intricacies of that are so deep. They're so vast. They're I think learning how to use Ableton is such a marketable skill. I wish I could teach you guys Ableton. I wish I knew Ableton, to be honest. But like Mr. Copolis's son is a musician, and his job right now is touring with a guy, and he is his Ableton engineer. So his whole job is to make sure that the Ableton digital setup is good to go when they go play live. Which, when I was getting my music degree, that wasn't even you couldn't do that. It wasn't even a thing. And so it's just really cool. I think this is really cool. Everything he played, I really like his playing style. He's got a really great style. It's very it's very Van Halen-y. It's very Eric Johnson-y. He very clearly studied electric guitar, whereas I didn't. I studied classical guitar, and that's just a reality I have to deal with. He thinks about it in a much different way than I do. Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, string sounds.
I really hear a lot of chord suspensions that would sound really great with that, like sus4 chords would sound really good where you have God, I'm so like backwards with this guitar. Yeah, those kind of things. It would sound better if I play it clean.
That sounds cool. Even when I roll the volume down, it actually responds nice, so let's just hit a note and roll it down. It doesn't kind of get all jittery like, oh, whoa, I need some volume. It just kind of tails down nicely. Alright, new category. What we got? Strings 2, is it? I think so. Ooh, organs.
This is rad.
Oh, that's gospel-y.
This is sick. This is sick. And actually, did you see that right there? He just played a 7 sharp 9 chord. That's a pretty tight harmony, and it came through really clearly, actually. That one right there. It's That's rad.
I never thought I'd be an organ player.
This guy's not a simp. He's a Chad. This is a Chad right here. So that's so on synths there's usually like an octave shift. So that's what he's playing with right now.
Alright, we've jumped on a bell sound, but this is going to be quite interesting because I'm going to transpose the guitar in real time. So this is E. We're going to go like really, maybe D or something. So this will feel a little weird, but
that's interesting. Yeah. So this is wild. So he just like straight up changed the key on the on the pedal. Like this is like him putting a capo on the guitar, but he's like going past where you could put a capo with, you know, a physical capo and just still playing in the same place. This is really rad.
So I'm not sure how that's going to sound because I'm not really listening to the SY1 very loud in the room here. So it feels kind of surreal because I'm playing one pitch but it's coming out as another pitch. So could be pretty useful though. So if you're used to like playing in certain keys and you just want to crank, you know, to a new key, let this do the hard work for you.
This is like a rhythmic patch. Oh. Ooh, I like that.
That's nice.
And so that would be a benefit for using the wave information rather than the MIDI information, because you can mess with the dials while you're recording and it'll pick up the wave information.
I like that. So there's a little part in the video where there's like this guitar part and then the synth part repeats. I'm going to try and recreate that. So the part that I'm talking about. The guitar part for that is like, and then it repeats on the synth side. So let's try and find that sound.
This is so interesting to me.
Let's try and find another sound in the video. All right, so when the beat starts, you hear the beat.
And so the other thing that the guy in the other video that he's referencing is he's using an expression pedal to move between the guitar sound and the synthesizer sound. So it's an expression pedal, like I have I'm looking over at my wah pedal. Wah pedal is technically an expression pedal, but what it is it has more, oh shoot. So wah pedal is like, you use it on the floor and you can, you change what it's doing. What this essentially is it's an envelope filter that you're taking off and putting back on certain frequencies within the sound wave. But just a expression pedal, more specifically, you can set it to something like volume. You can set it to something like this, and it all has to do with like the circuit that you build it into, which is what you would do with a pedal board. So this is really interesting.
And then you hear like a pad play a couple of chords, really dissonant type of chords, and it's very challenging for the SY1. But it copes really well with it. So let's listen to that bit. Oh, I think I've just found it. So the chords are, yeah, that is it. Like when I was making the audio, I was like literally just dialing, recording, just chucking stuff and making no notes at all. So going back and trying to recreate them is actually quite fun. very cool. Anyway, guys, I could go on for hours with this thing. It's such an awesome pedal. So if you haven't seen the launch video, I'll put that in the link down below, and also the boss page to go and check it out. Thanks for hanging out today. If you've enjoyed this video, do subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell so you get notified, obviously.
Obviously.
Alright, take it easy, everybody.
Obviously, so you get notified. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Launch video. Okay, let's look at this bad boy. Yeah. Show me, give me a number here. Give me the numbers. Bruh. Yeah, so this is the expression pedal that he was using. Oh, see, so if you look at this image, there's this is the input, so that's where your guitar goes in. Output goes to your amp. Then EXP/CTL expression control. So you would plug in an expression pedal directly into it to control it. What a trip. What a trip. Okay, but how much? How much? That's what it's probably, this is easily like a $200 plus pedal. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. So let's watch the launch video here. So he's really heavily using that expression pedal. Oh, and so, yep, here he's playing the bass. So. Yep, that expression pedal, just rolling it in and out. What a trip. That's a trip. That sounds rad. That sounds really rad. I want to know how much it costs. I got more. Probably the same page we were just on. Yeah, same page we're on. Let's Google. Yeah, but okay, $200. That sounds right. That sounds right. Pedals are not cheap. Pedals are not cheap, for sure. But this is really cool. This is a really cool idea. Yeah, and it's got the expression pedal as an add-on you can do. That is so cool. I like that. I like that a lot. So I wanted to go over that just because I know we've talked about pedals in the past, and that's one that a buddy sent to me, and I pretty instantly was like, this has an insane number of possibilities, an insane number of things that you can do with it. So that's cool. Yeah, if you missed it already, we talked about stream time is changing. Stream time is changing next week, or tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow will be 12 to 2 instead of 10 to 12. So that'll be cool. And then what else? What else did we say we were gonna do today? Well, I should have the. I need to add this into Google Classroom so that people know that we're live. I did it again. Keep doing this. Oh, burp. Sorry. I'm like, as quarantine goes on, the more frazzled I feel I get. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time. Cool. All right. So there, that should be out to everyone. Let's go back to Soundation. I was having fun with that yesterday. It is definitely a steep learning curve. We definitely have a steep learning curve with this one. Where's my profile? What? What about... Oh, are you serious? Are you serious? Everything I did yesterday is gone? Oh, no. Oh, here. Okay. Oh, okay. I almost panicked. Or I was panicking. But I want to play with this some more because this one is pretty fun. Now the thing about this is I'm not sure if you can record directly into it like you can with Soundtrap. Or at least I just haven't discovered that functionality. Yet. So let's see. I gotta remember what the heck we did here. So this is our game boss. Definitely like the second part better than the first part. Yeah, you got that heartbeat track. Just gonna extend that out. Now, I don't particularly care for this in the beginning. So I want to take all of this and we're gonna slide it this way because I want to add some new nonsense in before this. So let's see here. One thing I will say is the controls for this are not as intuitive as Soundtrap. Because I would like to just arrow key backwards. Rip. So I actually want this to go a lot faster. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oops. Uh-oh. Okay, so yeah, all right. So I know this is weird. This is definitely weird, but I want a little bit of chaos here. So I like this. I do like this alt functionality where I can just press alt and copy everything that I just did. Now it's definitely too loud. So if I okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 Wait, what is happening here? What is happening here? Something fishy happened in these copies. Because this is fine, this is all fine, this is... This is funky. This is funky. Oh, actually, that's kind of cool. Okay, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with it. So, something funky is happening here. And so, we're just going to go with it. Yeah, so every time it gets closer to overlapping. Oops. Oops. Undo. So we're gonna go back to turn. Oop. Oop. Sorry. Not what I wanted. Okay. Okay. Weird. Weird. We're getting weird with the metaphorical beard. So, how do I stop doing automation? So let's because I want to go back into like okay, interesting. I did not think that this would be a problem that I would have. Okay, let's turn this down a little bit because it actually gets a little distorted. Okay. I don't want to clear automation. I don't want to clear. Nope, undo. Undo. I want to clear automation. How do I? Let's see. Okay. I just turned. Okay, so where does it... This is where it first starts to overlap. Oops. Interesting. Okay, now let's okay. Now let's add something new. Actually. That's a tritone. Interesting. Actually, I want this to be like, no. Okay, okay, we're gonna put you right here, and then you right there. Okay, and then, oops, undo, let's turn off, display off. Now I want to, do you want to move the automation data for selected? No. Okay, so then I want to go into here. Okay. Now can I, burp. Nope. Just, okay, can I split this? Let's try what works in Soundtrap. Can I do that? Oh, no. No. No, okay. No. Cut. Undo. Cut. No. Paste. No. Paste. No. Paste. Definitely not. Come on. All right, so let's see. Oops. What in the what? Nope. Okay, we're gonna go back. So this is where it gets pretty tedious. That. I just want to split this. So I'm wondering if there's an easy way to do that. Probably not. So I want to go to copy. Get rid of you. Now we're gonna go right here. Click here. Oops. And we're going to paste. Yeah. Okay, where is that? Okay. And then we're going to paste. Okay. We're going to keep on pasting. Because I'm got kind of a theme going. Very like a Bowser's Castle, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's go back over here. Then we can get into like that more snare hi-hat stuff and kind of dig into it. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll keep working on this. I need just kind of I need a mental minute to think about this more. All right, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. How we doing, chat? How we doing, chat? I'm feeling a little burnt from this thing here. While I do like this program, I think it has some huge value. It's such a high learning curve. It is such a high learning curve. And it makes it pretty difficult to just play with. There's something in here that's like adding an extra note. Omar, what's up, brother? That is not the sound I want. Oof. Oh, I need a premium. So basically I'm trying to find something that has an open hi-hat so I can just clip it. There it is. that's not what I was listening to. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. There it is, okay. Okay, hold on. All right, I got pretty nitty gritty over here. Let's see what nonsense I have created at this point. So I have to make sure that I'm resolving to that. So Um, honestly, I don't know if you can use plugins with one of these. I think you're kind of stuck with the plugins you have. I would YouTube it and see. That's not something I've tried to mess with on this program, so I don't really know at this point, unfortunately. And what sucks is I feel like that's going to be my answer for a lot of stuff for a while, as I'm just trying to figure it out too. Bring that automation back. Bring that automation back. So this has got to be here. I'll leave you down there. Well, definitely improvements there. There's definitely some improvements there. What I'm finding right now, and I guess I'm gonna feelings time. So one thing that's really difficult about what we're globally going through is being creative. It's really difficult right now to be creative because so much of our mental space is taken up by what's going to happen next. This idea, what's going to happen next, and it's hard to that crowds out pretty much everything else. So having the brain space to be creative is very difficult in these uncertain times. So I'm saying this for you guys watching. I'm also saying this for me. So I'm personally not too hard on myself for what I feel like is, a decent composition for just messing around. It's tough. It's tough to really figure out what's going to happen next. This is how we're finishing out the school year. Feels weird, man. Feels weird, man. So I'm just this kind of stuff is very much like learning this stuff is really important, but having the brain space to learn it and be creative with it right now is very difficult. So that's kind of why I wanted to start today with that guitar synth, because it has different possibilities that we can unlock just from different sounds. However, what I'm noticing right now in my present mindset is that the possibilities are not the issue. Like, not having enough possibilities or needing different possibilities is not the issue. The real issue is that there's too many possibilities, and I would rather feel like I was more narrowed down creatively to really figure out what to do next. So something interesting that's happening. So excuse me, I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Let's see, how do we, so let's just see. So Omar, it looks like with Soundation you have to buy their plugins, and they have some specific plugins that you have to buy. If that answers your question. Let's see about Soundtrap though. Yeah, so same thing with Soundtrack. So with both of them, you can't use VST plugins, which was what you would use with any non-browser interface. You can't do that because it's within Chrome, and with a VST plugin, it's like an executable that you can only execute within the program. So say you're using Logic on a MacBook, you would execute that VST within Logic. Does that make sense? I don't know. So answers can't do it. Soundation, you can purchase plugins from them. It's part of their free-to-play model, so to speak. Is if you want different plugins, you have to buy them directly. So those things are really interesting. What else? So yeah, sorry guys, I just feel like I've hit a wall, and I'm not producing any kind of meaningful content for you right now. And that's frustrating to me. I don't like feeling like I'm not giving you something of value. So what up? You guys tell me what's going on. Angel. You good, bro? You got those strings yet? So I like all of these ideas, but they just feel like 3 different ideas. They don't feel like one composition, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. I really dig this. I really dig this. I almost want to keep that arpeggio stuff going. Then when it goes down to this F sharp, I need something more that's more of a transition. How do you know when a bend is up a whole step? In tab, the bend will be, you'll see the little bend thing with, I mean, sometimes it's an H, sometimes it's a W, H for half step, W for whole step. Sometimes it's a fraction. So if it's half, then you'll see a half step. Sometimes it's just a quarter step, so you'll see a quarter. If it's a whole, it'll be 1. A lot of times what you see in written notation is it will be written, you'll see it as the bend as a grace note up to the note you want to bend to, and so then you'll know if it's a half step or a whole step based on what note it is, if those are a half step or a whole step apart. Also by listening, it's really important if you're practicing bends to listen to what the next note is and practice getting up to that note. So for example, let me grab my guitar here. I could always practice bends more. I'm kind of, a lot of times I feel like I'm technically lazy because I fundamentally understand what to do when to reach the whole step. So for example, like, so that's a whole step. So you hear it. You have to hear when it's doing those things. Let me let you see my guitar here. So for Sandman, that's a whole step because you're trying to. Now with my Floyd Rose Bridge, what's interesting about doing that half step bend is if you're watching my bridge, I'm doing the bend and you can see the bridge coming forward, which down tunes the rest of my guitar. So what you have to do is it's almost like you're palm muting. You have to hold that bridge down because you want those, technically you want to sound the same. So while you might bend this up a whole step, that's a whole step. This is half step, whole step. While you might bend this up a whole step, what you're doing is you're down tuning the first string because the bridge is coming forward. So you have to compensate for that a little bit. Okay. That's a whole step. Again, it's still a whole step. So almost, I would say, it seemed to me as I was doing that, all of them were whole steps. Seemed to me that all of them were whole steps. And so, and the way that I don't know that I'm answering your question in a good way, but the way that I know that is because I know the solo, and as I'm going through playing it, I know what it sounds like. Because I know what it sounds like, I know if I'm supposed to bend a whole step or a half step. But like... No, that I think is a whole half step. Yeah, half step. So, I hope that helped. Just remember, think of the notes that you're listening for. So if it's... There you go. So, yeah, it seems like all whole steps except for this one. That's the one that felt the most weird to me, because you're really playing this. So you're never actually playing that note. You're just... You could also play this like... Yep. Enter Sandman. It helps to know the key. It helps to know the key really well. That way you know just whatever the next note is in the key, you know if it's a half step or a whole step. But barring that, it's just by sound. So. Not even close, baby. Yeah, it's really hot right now. I'm wearing this flannel shirt and I'm regretting every second of it. I like that lick because it's you're changing your arpeggio on the direction of the arpeggio. So descending, it's an A minor arpeggio, and then ascending, instead of here with that A, we go to G because we're gonna ascend with an E minor. E minor arpeggio. So to E minor, back to A minor, back to E minor, A minor, E minor, and then it gets weird because we go to F. It's an F major arpeggio, and then E major. F to E. Now we're back to A minor. You end with that pitch harmonic right there at the end. So tomorrow, everybody, we're going 12 to 2 instead of 10 to 12. So if you don't see me at 10 tomorrow, that's where I am. We're just pushing the stream back a ways. Be nice to really like come up with some backing tracks for this. That's kind of a skill set I haven't learned, which is frustrating for me. It's frustrating for me. A lot of the stuff these awesome YouTube players do, like I just don't have the skill set for. I wish I could have backing tracks for like the exercises that I have you play, because stuff is way more fun when you can play along with something. You know, you can't. It's really hard to hit that pitch harmonic with the front pickup. You gotta move to the back. Okay, that's gonna be it for stream today. Hope you guys are well. I'll see you tomorrow in the afternoon. Remember the afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow in the afternoon. Later, my dudes. Later, my dudes.